As a doctor, one of the questions I get asked all the time, especially from my patients over 50, isn't just how do I live longer? It's how do I stay strong and sharp and, well, independent as I get older. And today we're going to dive into the science-backed secrets to do exactly that. Because this isn't about chasing some number. It's about adding more real life to your years. So let's get right into it. Okay, so what do you think is the biggest reason we live so much longer today than our great-grandparents did? Now, most people jump right to modern medicine, vaccines, antibiotics, amazing surgeries, and yeah, those things absolutely play a part. But the first huge leap in how long we live, well, it came from something much, much more humble. That's right, plumbing. It sounds almost crazy to us now, but back in the early 1900s, the average person only lived to be about 32 years old. And the thing that changed everything wasn't some miracle drug. It was simply cleaning up our water. By getting a handle on diseases like cholera and typhoid, public sanitation did more to extend our lives than any medical invention of that time. And that history lesson brings us to a really important choice that we all face today with our own health. Are we just playing defense, managing diseases with drugs that mostly just cover up the symptoms? Or are we playing offense by actively creating health, by making our bodies work better and building up our resilience? That first path, well, it often comes with side effects and a lower quality of life. The second path, the one we're going to talk about today, is all about building up a deep reserve of health so we can really thrive. So how do we start creating all that health? Well, let's begin with one of the most powerful tools we have, our food. And to do that, we're going to look at the places in the world where people consistently live the longest, healthiest lives. Starting with Japan. Just take a second and look at that number. Almost 100,000 people in Japan right now have celebrated their 100th birthday. Now, that's not just some statistical accident. It's the result of a culture and especially a diet that holds some really powerful lessons for every single one of us. So what's their secret? Well, it's not one magic food, but it is a really consistent pattern. First, they keep sugar and refined starches to a minimum, which keeps their insulin stable, and that's a huge key to avoiding chronic disease. They also practice something called Hara Hachi Bu, which just means eating until you're about 80% full. This stops you from overloading your body's cells. Their diet is also packed with fermented foods for a healthy gut. They balance their salt with potassium from things like leafy greens, and they sip on green tea, which is just a powerhouse of protective compounds. It's like a whole symphony of healthy habits working together. This brings us to a really cool process called autophagy. Think of it like your body's own internal deep cleaning service. It goes around, finds old, junky, damaged parts of your cells and clears them out. And if you don't clear them out, that junk can contribute to aging and disease. So what's the simplest, most powerful way to turn on this cleanup crew? It's just giving your body a break from eating through what we call intermittent fasting. It is truly one of the most profound secrets to long-term health at a cellular level. All right, but health isn't just built in the kitchen, right? It's built with every single step we take. So our next set of secrets is all about movement and a kind of counterintuitive idea that the right kind of stress can actually be one of the best things for you. The Japanese don't just eat differently, they move differently. And you can see it right here. On average, they're walking over 2,000 more steps a day than we do in America. And this kind of constant, low-level movement is incredibly good for you. In fact, just taking a simple walk after a meal can lower your blood sugar so well that it literally acts like a free dose of a diabetes medication, but with absolutely zero side effects. Now, beyond just walking, one of the most powerful predictors of how long you'll live is something called your VO2 Max. You can think of it as a measure of your body's engine, how efficiently it can use oxygen. The higher your VO2 max, the bigger your fitness reserve is, and that reserve is what helps you bounce back from an illness or an injury. It's something you can actively build at any age. And this brings us to that idea of healthy stress. There's a biological principle for it called hormesis, and you actually already know this concept really well. It's that old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The whole idea is that by introducing these small, manageable stressors, we actually kick on our body's survival and repair systems, which makes us stronger and more robust in the long run. So what does this look like in real life? Well, exercise is the classic example. You stress your muscles so they grow back stronger, but it also includes things like the heat from a sauna, a quick blast of cold water in the shower, the metabolic challenge of fasting, and even getting some moderate sun exposure. See, these aren't chronic, damaging stresses. They are short, therapeutic signals that wake up your body's natural defense systems. Okay, now this is so important for anyone over 50. The single biggest reason people lose their independence and function as they get older is something called sarcopenia. It's just the natural loss of muscle mass. But this is a battle we can absolutely win. It means we have to do resistance training to challenge our muscles, and we have to eat enough high-quality protein to give them the building blocks to rebuild. I want you to think of your muscle as your metabolic armor for aging well. It's non-negotiable. Now, creating health isn't just about all the stress and the activity. It's just as much about the recovery. Our final secrets are about two of the most powerful and, honestly, most overlooked pillars of health: getting high-quality rest and having deep, meaningful connections with others. So many of us struggle with sleep, but we can fight back. First, try to get about 20 minutes of morning sunlight in your eyes without sunglasses. This is what sets your body's internal clock for the day. Second, keep your bedroom cool at night. A lower body temperature is a key signal for deep, restorative sleep. And third, if you're looking at screens in the evening, please wear some blue-blocking glasses. That will stop the artificial light from tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime. The link between our hearts and our minds is it's undeniable. I mean, think about broken heart syndrome. It's a real medical condition. The intense stress from losing a loved one can increase the risk of a heart attack by a staggering amount. What this shows us is that loneliness isn't just a feeling. It's a major health risk. Community and connection, they are biological necessities. You know, our bodies were designed to make vitamin D from the sun, but our modern indoor lives have led to a huge deficiency for so many people. And this vitamin is really a powerful hormone that acts like the director of your immune system. That's why it is so important to get your level tested and supplement if you need to. You really want to aim for a blood level between 60 and 80 to keep all your body's defenses strong. And this really just says it all, doesn't it? The goal of all these secrets isn't just about hitting your 100th birthday. The real goal is to arrive at that age and all the years before it with energy, with clarity, and with strength. The goal isn't just lifespan, it's health span. Now, I know, looking at all of this at once can feel like a lot, but you don't have to do it all at once. The journey of creating health is built one small step at a time. So, my question for you is this. What's one thing you heard today, just one little thing, that you will do to start building your own health reserve? Maybe it's just taking a short walk after dinner tonight, or turning the thermostat down before you go to bed. The most powerful step you can take is simply the next one.